A massive inferno lighting up the nighttime sky south of downtown Phoenix. A train fire turning into a chemical hazmat situation. Team 12's Mitch Carr is joining us live from the scene there at 7th Avenue south of Jefferson Street. And Mitch, what is happening there?
It's a very active scene here right now behind me, although the giant flames and smoke that you could see towering over some of these buildings from miles around, those are gone. But here's a look at what the scene looked like earlier. I mean, just take a look at these flames. They were rising higher than the utility poles, and that's because what's burning inside these flames you are seeing is diesel fuel. You're looking at Union Pacific rail cars that were filled with diesel fuel, and the reason it might look like firefighters are standing around is that they were. That was kind of the idea. They were taking a defensive position to corral this fire. And if you're wondering what that means, here is your answer.
We're going to stand back. We're not going to risk anything. So this falls under our risk management profile that, we're not going to risk anything with whatever's lost. So our next step is that we're going to use a Class B foam to control the runoff, suppress the fumes, and then we can attack the fire.
So Phoenix Fire did exactly that. They used that foam to keep the diesel fuel from spreading. Eventually, the diesel fuel did burn itself out. That's when they sprayed water on the fire. And that fire, again, good news, is out. It took between 50 and 60 people to put this fire out. And just moments ago, Phoenix Fire told us exactly what caused this fire. Apparently, there was a train derailment. The engine of this train derailed. That train engine was fueled by diesel fuel. So the diesel fuel caught fire and then caught the car behind the engine as well as the engine itself on fire. And that is how we got here. But again, this fire is now out. Live in downtown Phoenix, Mitch Carr, 12 News at 10.